No one was there to witness it, not a single eye to blink at the first spark of heat, not a single voice to gasp as darkness fractured into fire. Yet the story of Earth's birth is written everywhere, in the iron at the core of our planet, in the gold on our fingers, even in the oxygen flowing through every breath. If you could peel back the layers of time, like pages of an ancient manuscript, you'd find that our world began not with quiet order, but with chaos so violent it made and unmade entire worlds in seconds. Picture a universe still young. Roughly 4.6 billion years ago, the Milky Way was a restless place, dense with clouds of gas and dust, drifting like cosmic smoke. One such cloud, the one that would become our solar system, looked perfectly ordinary, a cold, dim expanse no different from 1,000 others. But somewhere nearby, a massive star died in a supernova. Its final explosive breath was powerful enough to jolt that cloud, compressing it like a hand squeezing a snowball. Gravity, suddenly awakened, began pulling everything inward. This collapsing cloud spun faster and faster, flattening into a swirling disk with the newborn sun forming at its blazing heart. Everything else, every planet, moon, asteroid, and grain of dust began as a particle drifting in that disk. It's humbling, almost comical, to imagine Earth as a microscopic fleck tumbling through cosmic traffic, jostling for space in a turbulent celestial whirlpool. But that's how worlds begin, not with purpose, but with collisions. Tiny grains stuck together. Pebbles became boulders. Boulders became mountain-sized bodies, slamming into one another with unimaginable force. They didn't so much gently attach as smash, melt, and fuse. For millions of years, future planets battled for territory, absorbing competitors or being flung into the void. Earth's earliest form, sometimes called a planetesimal, was far from unique. It wasn't even stable. It grew because it survived. One of the most dramatic moments in Earth's turbulent childhood came when a Mars-sized body, now named Theia, crossed paths with our growing planet. It wasn't a glancing blow. It was a catastrophe so intense that both worlds shattered, spraying molten rock into space like sparks from an anvil. Out of that wreckage, Earth reformed, and from the debris that didn't fall back, another companion emerged: the Moon. The Moon, contrary to its calm presence in our night sky, was born from violence. Its existence is proof of the unimaginable impact that forged the young Earth into the planet we know today. Without the Moon, tides would be weaker, Earth's rotation chaotic, seasons unpredictable. Life, if it emerged at all, might have been unrecognizable. The quiet white circle that poets adore is essentially a scar, beautiful, essential, and born from a wound. But even after reassembling itself, Earth was hardly the blue and green sanctuary we think of. The surface was molten, glowing red, constantly bombarded by asteroids that heated it again and again. Volcanoes erupted everywhere, filling the newborn atmosphere with carbon dioxide, steam, sulfur, and strange gases. If you had stood on the surface, which you couldn't, because it wasn't solid yet, you'd find an inferno. Oceans? Not yet. Air? Barely. Stability? Not even close. And yet, within that hellish landscape, something remarkable began to happen. As Earth cooled, heavy metals sank toward its center, forming the core. That descent released massive amounts of energy, enough to drive restless geological activity for billions of years. The core's swirling iron would later generate Earth's magnetic field, a protective shield deflecting deadly solar radiation. Without it, the sun would have stripped away our atmosphere long ago, leaving Earth dry and barren like Mars. Cooling continued, steam condensed. Rain fell for thousands of years at a time, creating the first oceans, vast, dark, and hot. It's almost poetic. Water, the cradle of life, arrived through both relentless rain and icy bodies from space slamming into Earth, delivering their precious cargo. By this point, Earth was no longer alone. The other planets had formed their identities too. Gas giants, ballooning with hydrogen and helium, rocky worlds settling near the sun, icy bodies lingering in the distant dark. The solar system became recognizable, but Earth still had a final twist in its tail. Some scientists believe that after the worst impacts died down, Earth was sprinkled with organic molecules, complex building blocks that could assemble into life. Did they arrive from meteorites carrying chemical seeds across light years? Or did they arise in Earth's oceans, sparked by lightning, ultraviolet radiation, or deep-sea vents bursting with minerals? The truth, even now, feels tantalizingly close, yet frustratingly out of reach. But either route paints a picture of a world readying itself for life long before it appeared. With oceans in place, atmosphere stabilizing, and sunlight breaking through thick clouds, Earth finally began to resemble something familiar. Not the vibrant planet we know, no blue skies yet, no continents, no trees, but a world capable of hosting the first self-replicating chemistry. A world where the impossible was beginning to flirt with the inevitable. Still, the planet's early history remained a battleground. Meteorites occasionally pounded the surface. Volcanoes reshaped continents that were only beginning to form. But underneath all that turmoil, something delicate was brewing. Life, simple, microscopic, persistent, emerged. The moment it did, the planet changed forever. Earth stopped being just another rocky world orbiting an average star. It became a rare oasis, a place where the chaos of creation had given rise to something fragile, yet unstoppable. Every creature that ever lived traces its origins back to those first tiny sparks of life, clinging to hydrothermal vents or drifting in sunlit waters. And those life forms, in turn, reshaped the planet, releasing oxygen, altering the seas, building continents of coral, and eventually leading to beings capable of asking how all of this began. The strangest revelation of all is that the atoms in our bodies, the carbon in our cells, the iron in our blood, the calcium in our bones, were forged in stars long before Earth existed. We are made of material older than our world, older than the sun, older than the cloud that collapsed to form our solar system. Our beginnings stretch back not billions, but tens of billions of years. Before Earth was born, the ingredients for life were scattered across the galaxy, waiting for their chance. The birth of Earth is a story of violence and beauty, of destruction and creation intertwined. It's a reminder that nothing stable lasts forever, and nothing chaotic stays impossible. Our world rose from fire, rebuilt itself from disaster, cooled into oceans, and eventually grew life that learned to look up and wonder. And if there's a message hidden in those ancient events, it's this: the universe is full of stories like ours. Worlds forming, colliding, collapsing, and rising again. Earth's birth is only one chapter, but it's the chapter that made us possible. If you could stand at the moment of Earth's formation, staring at that molten sphere surrounded by dust and darkness, You might never imagine that one day it would host forests, oceans, civilizations, and questions as vast as the cosmos. Yet here we are, a world born from chaos, nurturing life that seeks to understand the chaos it came from.